Jane Harmon of Amethyst NA Spirits. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I am the brand manager for Amethyst non-alcoholic botanical spirits. And I have been in the position for almost 2 years now. The company is about 3 years old at this moment. And when I came in, it had only been really shipping orders for a few months. So kind of started it from the ground up, I could say. And just selling all over the country. And we're in Bluffton, South Carolina, which if you don't know where Bluffton is, it's on the coast of South Carolina. We're near Savannah, Georgia, and we're right across the intercoastal waterway from Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, which is
Nice.
kind of the famous point.
Now, Amethyst Spirits was an outgrowth of a distillery,
Exactly.
a spirit, an alcoholic distillery.
Exactly. And basically what happened is Billy and Sean Watterson are the founders of Burnt Church Distillery here in Bluffton. And when they were, getting their experience plans together for the people that would come through the door, they discovered that about 20% of people that come here won't drink. So we wanted to be able to give them a great experience. So they put their heads together, and Sean, who's kind of the mad scientist of the bunch, the R&D guy.
There's always one at a distillery.
Yeah, he developed Amethyst. And instead of just giving somebody a water or a Coke or something, they came up with Amethyst. And so now they can, anyone can come here and feel included. And that's why we have a hashtag of the spirit of inclusion.
Oh, I like that a lot. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So why the name Amethyst?
Well, amethyst is actually a Greek word, and it's for sober. So
Oh,
Greek mythology says that back in those times, they would rub the amethyst stone over their bodies, and it would prevent them from getting intoxicated. And also amethyst is known to do other things for our bodies. So it's kind of an old historical myth.
yeah. Well, maybe I should
Thus
learn.
amethyst, it was perfect. It's a purple color. So it just worked really well.
That's awesome. Maybe we should wear some amethyst jewelry. It's starting to be Mardi Gras season here, so maybe we need to wear some amethyst to make sure we are detoxed of all
Yes,
things.
yes. You'll have to make some NA hurricanes.
Yes, absolutely.
Is there a stone for energy? Because
I love that too.
at the end of Mardi Gras, we're
Yeah,
out.
good question. I don't know. We should look into that. I need to have those. I have little amethysts at my desk, and I
Oh,
rub
cool.
those every once in a while. I don't know if it works.
What?
It's so versatile, literally, that any cocktail you can think of, you could probably use either of the flavors in that cocktail. The lemon cucumber serrano, perfect example. I love to make a margarita with it.
Hmm.
But it's also great with just a club soda and, maybe a little bit of a shrub thrown in, or I'm really into Wilfred's blood orange rosemary aperitif. Throw a little bit of that in there, and you get almost that spritz effect.
Hmm.
So it's super versatile. And then the blueberry ginger mint, of course, it's going to be the fruity sweet one, kind of. And it's great in your tiki drinks, to
I was gonna say mojitos.
lemonade.
It sounds like
mean,
it would just.
Yeah, it's just so
be
super.
nice.
They're all so super easy. And I've created tons of cocktails, and every month I'm trying to find more, just because there's so much out there that you could do. We've even done a take on a pisco sour with
Oh,
amethyst. And this month we did a kind of a mix up with non-alcoholic beer from Athletic Brewing, and mix those together, and it was really, really good. So it's just, I keep saying it, it's just versatile. It's really easy to make something yummy with it.
that's cool. So is there you categorize them as like a botanical. At any point, we have been talking to some other folks about that they have created an alcohol product and then taken the alcohol out. At any point, does Amethyst have any alcohol in it, or like the distilling process and then it's been taken out, or is it kind of a zero
Right.
proof, like never
touched alcohol,
Okay.
Totally zero proof. It's also zero sugar, low cal, low carb, barely any sodium in it. So it's all around really a good for you product.
Mhm.
On its own, you can literally put it over a rock and people love it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, never touch that. And that is definitely an important thing that I've run into with a lot of customers, and just being on, the social media platform and talking to people in the groups. Some people just definitely want zero. So we are a zero.
Yeah,
And
it's interesting to us.
it is distilled, but basically the easiest way to describe the process is we take water, we infuse it with the botanicals, and then we distill it to a high temperature, filter it out a couple times, and then we put it into the bottle.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been interesting to us in this, because we're really into craft spirit folks, like spirits, distilleries, wineries,
Yes.
breweries. And it's been interesting to us to see that there are multiple ways you can end up with an NA spirit. And so some people distill it to proof and then filter out the distillant. We talked to H2 Ops water, and I think they do very similarly to you. They don't, it never gets to the alcohol stage.
Right,
so,
to that point.
And it is interesting to me how everybody's been really creative in how they get there. And there's a lot of ways to get there. So
say I'd classify myself as sober curious. I do have a drink here and there, but I love that I can pick up something now and still go out with friends, and then, know that I'm going to wake up and not have a hangover. That to me is the biggest perk for me personally, and having an NA option. And it's been really nice here, even at the distillery. We're selling NA beers, and then of course Amethyst cocktails, and I've curated a whole non-alcoholic section in our retail store. So when people come in, they can be exposed to other stuff, because where we are in Bluffton, it's a very touristy community. It's like New Orleans. New Orleans is a party town.
That's kind of an understatement, but okay.
Yeah.
We pride ourselves on drinking all day.
But people are really gravitating to it. And I think if you it's like, if you build it, they will come. It's that way. And we've discovered that with just our little retail NA section at Christmas, it was like wiped out, completely wiped out. So the movement is real, and I'm so excited about it.
I love that it's about inclusion. And I think that's kind of the most important thing, because I know I have a lot of friends who have had issues with alcohol in the past and now don't go out as much because they feel like they can't socialize and be a part of the group if there's alcohol present.
Right.
So it has been cool, especially to see in this town, that people are starting to carry better non-alcoholic products in their stores. And I think that's great that you guys have a section where people can come in and purchase some NA options and feel included, which I think is just so cool. So.
Nice to see that purveyors of alcohol, whether it's distilleries, breweries, wineries, or bars, are now looking at, okay, there are people that are interested in this, and enough so that we'll carry it.
Yeah. And that it's so good. It's like, I've been pitching to a local restaurant group for, 2 years now. Like, come on, you need to have this. And yesterday just presented in front of all the managers, because they reached out to me and said, hey, we want to do this. We're ready. And so, went in and just kind of showed them how easy it was and told them about it. And, that the movement is here. It's real. I mean, we're up just in January 600% in orders over last January. So that's like insane for, you know, us, a little guy down here selling a couple products. But so it's cool. It's cool to see. And I think we're gonna just see more and more of it. I think I know I read somewhere that I think it was by 2026, it was going to be like $1 trillion industry or something,
Wow.
something
Wow.
crazy, you know, and don't quote me, but something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. I think it's a nice thing. And I love, like what you said, the inclusion in an alcohol venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
We
that
also
way we
think
get
it's kind of
separated when we want to be together, like your
right.
friends that, you know, if you want to be together, then you can go and watch that band that's playing at the local brewery and have an NA beer or a regular beer, whatever you choose. So,
Yeah.
Or both.
or
Which is
both. Yes.
also nice.
You
You
know,
know, you can
taste
moderate,
yourself.
you know. The other thing that we've been excited about is, you know, the craft breweries and distilleries really sort of pushed those categories to new levels. And
Mhm.
they were the innovators. They were the, you know, because they didn't have to produce the exact same thing every single time.
Mhm.
And so I think it's really exciting that a lot of the growth and a lot of the flavor improvement has come from those same folks.
Right.
The craft spirits industry has created some really interesting NA stuff.
Mhm.
And I think that's, do you find that to be true across your travels?
Yes. And you're going to start seeing a lot of different things coming from people that um, I think just wanted something and they're like, hey, I got to find this. I got to figure this out. And then they created it. So you've got definitely the craft brewers and the distillers, but then you have people that, you know, just are out one day and think, gosh, I really would like that. And then somehow they come up with the product and they give us this really cool thing
That's cool.
to
So you
drink.
mentioned your pop-up. We
Yeah.
saw that you guys are going around to different places.
Except you're not coming to New Orleans because we looked.
I know. But Sands Bar was started by Chris Marshall. And Chris Marshall is was a counselor by trade in Austin, Texas. He's been sober, I think, like 15, 16 years or something like that. Opened up the very first NA bar in the US in Austin. It's called Sands Bar. And I think about in 2019, he did the first tour and went around the country to different places and started doing these pop-ups. Well, now, of course, it's like blown up. And last year we did a few cities with him. And then this year decided we wanted to do more cities. So we're doing 7. And this month we did San Diego. So that was really cool. And basically it's just a great, you know, pop-up party where you have a bartender that's mixing up some great alcohol-free cocktails. There's some munchies, there's some live music, and then there's just that bonding and that feeling of inclusion and talking to other people that, you know, are sober curious, sober sometimes, you know, whatever, wherever they are in their journey. And it's just a really, really cool thing. It's nice. And we had about 108 people at the one in San Diego. So
Wow. Oh. Where are you guys
yes.
off to next?
Next, in March, we're doing Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Yeah.
kind of close.
Yeah,
Not
so
too
pretty
far
close.
from
That'll be
home.
good. We can drive to that one. And I'm excited about that one because Asheville is close. It's a very foodie city. It's a very brewery city, a lot of breweries there. But there's definitely a need for NA in their area. And there's a bottle shop there already that's doing great. And there's some influencers that are up there too that are really growing really fast. So I think it's going to be a good one. I don't think it'll be as big as San Diego because, you know, it's a smaller city,
Right.
but it'll definitely be a nice time, and it'll be good to spread the Amethyst love, as I say.
That's awesome.
So now if people want to get a hold of Amethyst in their area, can they, I assume you distribute around, what's your distribution like, and how do we find Amethyst here?
Gotcha. Well, there's a few ways. The best way to find Amethyst in your area, if it's in your area, is we have a locator feature on our website, and our website is just Amethyst non-alcoholic botanical spirits.com. I know it's very long, but amethyst.com was already taken. But most of our product is ordered online, and we are in distribution in just a few states. We're in South Carolina, North Carolina, and Georgia. We will be rolling into Tennessee in February. So that's where our, you know, starting point was. We kind of, you know, stayed in this zone. But I do have product also in a distribution sort of model with a company called betterroads.com, and they're up in Connecticut, and they are in a consumer-based e-commerce platform.
Yeah.
Right.
People
Yeah,
can
we've heard
order
of
from them. And then I've also have a shop on fair.com, which is another platform for small businesses that, you know, want to purchase at wholesale product for their shops.
Cool.
So
But,
now if my local bar is interested in offering cocktails with Amethyst, do they just contact you directly?
Yeah, they just contact right now. That's kind of how it's working. They go through, we have a wholesale link that I send to them. It gets them all set up, asks them for the things that I need from them, and then basically I ship it. So that's like I was saying, it's like a one-woman show.
Yeah.
I'm selling, shipping,
Back in the box.
social media, you know, all this stuff. I do have a coworker though that does our social media for several of the companies that Billy and Sean own. So luckily I have a social media manager to help with that. But we're not in mass distribution yet.
Okay. So yeah, so definitely go check out the
Yeah.
website and all
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
things.
And I mean, you know, anytime if there's a place that you see other NA spirits, you know, we can always be there. It just depends on the way they're set up for their purchasing and stuff. So we only have one large retailer, and that's in North Carolina and South Carolina, and it's a grocery store called Lowe's Foods. So that's our biggest retailer that we have right now. We haven't jumped on any other big retailerships yet.
Yeah, cool.
So we always ask this, most people can't answer because it's a secret. Are there new things in the works, or are you sticking with what you got? Or I assume if you've got a mad scientist on staff, there's probably things coming.
Yeah, there is another flavor in the works. I don't even know what it's going to be. I know the things I've pitched and ideas that I've to Sean, but I do know that it's probably going to be along the more herbal side of things. You know, since we've had the fruity blueberry and we've got the lemon cucumber, so I have a feeling it's going to be a little more herbal, earthy, you know. But he has a fantastic palate, and he's created really two amazing things. So I'm not worried. I'm sure it'll be awesome.
Yeah, well, we'll be excited to see what comes
Look
next
for
from
that.
Oh
that.
yeah, I'll let you know.
Awesome.
And if you're interested in the pop-ups, the ones that Amethyst is participating in, and just if they're in your city, you can go to sandspar.com and find all
Yes.
the pop-ups there.
Yes, there's an event tab that says Tour 2023, and you can go right to it, and all the cities are there, and then just click on it, and it takes you to more information in Eventbrite.
Well, it was very nice to talk to
Yeah,
you.
thank
Is there
you.
anything
You
else that you
too.
want to let us know or let our viewers know?
Follow us on social. That's, that's the best way to spread the word. We're trying to grow organically,
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies. I appreciate it. It was so nice to meet you.
And
Nice to
it's
meet you
nice to meet
too.